I get it. I get your speech. I get why you're like,
but
this
you're
movie's...
saying it's not memorable.
It's not a memorable movie, and I feel like there are things they could have done to this movie to make it a little more commercial, would be the clearest word I could use. I think that is the
commercial.
To me, is the underlining problem of this movie is it just kind of like it ends and you're like, okay. It ends and you're like, it's just for the smart people in the audience. It's for the Chucky Rants who want to like, that was so meaningful. That talks about society. And I'm like, I get it. But we're talking about James Bond here, guys. Come on. This is
but you
like
still
what?
Get
we're talking
Bond.
about.
This is what I mean.
We're talking about this franchise that is
this is what I mean, though.
Fun franchise. It's a fun franchise of movies. And we want to see action happen. We want to see black and white. We want to see Westerns.
Granted, you can say, well, Char, I just don't give a shit as much. Valid. But for me, I'm like, this is a little breath of fresh air where we're away from Lord of the Rings. And all y'all know I fucking love Lord of the Rings. Classic good versus evil. But now we're in that Game of Thrones territory where it's not so simple. And not only is that the case, but that's just a heavy theme throughout.
I wouldn't have thought Vesper the sentimental type.
We never really know anyone, do we?
You never know who might be the bad guy. Vesper's boyfriend turned out to be Quantum. M's bodyguard was Quantum. All of these weird rich people are Quantum. And ultimately for Bond, the love of his life was turned by Quantum. So he's doubly hurt because not only did he lose her, but he's unsure whether or not she ever even loved him in the first place.
I'm not going to go chasing him. He's not important. And neither was she.
Remember, back in Casino, she never said, I love you.
I wonder if that's why I love you.
You love me?
I think she loved you. Right up until the moment she betrayed me. She died for you.
So that's the stake, right? That Quantum is going to grow in power, the corruption is going to spread, but then also Bond's personal stake in getting the information from Green about the guy who betrayed Vesper.
Yeah. But that's why I think the movie might be a little muddy.
Camille.
But I think that might be why the movie's a little muddy, because it's like now you're asking two different things. It's got to be this, and then it's got to be this, but it's also got to be this.
They handle
versus
the big,
it being one thing.
They handle the big stakes, and then the epilogue. That's literally an epilogue in Russia. That's the movie's already climaxed, and then the epilogue is the closure.
It should be one thing.
No, it doesn't have to be. Dude, you saying that Dominic Green
should have been one thing if you wanted people to leave the theater and be like, I enjoyed
Vesper
that
Green's boyfriend is just a teeny tiny pawn in the grand scheme of Spectre, Quantum, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
He's at such a low level, it doesn't matter.
And you see that in his face. He's just like, the irony, of course, is that he is no different from Bond, who's made an entire career out of seducing women.
You infiltrated Green's organization by having sex with him.
That offends you?
No, not in the slightest.
He is just
I'm
a
just
pawn.
here trying to turn this Canadian chick.
Perhaps we should shift our focus to the Canadian.
Superfly Canadian.
Yeah, she does a great job.
Do you think she was the runner-up for some of the other parts in the film?
Yeah, probably.
Do you think they were like, okay, well, we like these three women, but we're going to keep her as the main one, and then we like this girl, but we're going to give you a smaller role?